Counting down the best James Bond pre-title sequences at number 15, it's Thunderball.
What's Thunderball famous for? Underwater. Not in this pre-title sequence. Oh no.
Apart from the guards at the end up
Yes.
underwater.
Washed away.
Just fade into the underwater.
Cleaned to death or something.
Yeah.
I do love that ending that like you've got men firing guns at it and they basically get knocked down by super soakers. It's brilliant.
Yeah. The first title sequence of many to allude that Bond might be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. JB.
The coffin. It has your initials. JB.
At this moment, rather him than me.
At least you've been saved the effort of removing him. Colonel Bouvard passed away in his sleep, so they tell me. You sound disappointed. You did not kill him yourself.
I am. Jacques Bouvard murdered 2 of my colleagues.
When you first saw it, did you... I think I may have missed that there was sort of...
JB.
Implying that, that it was sort of...
And it's over very quickly, isn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't keep that sense of mystery for more than 10 seconds, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Bond's there watching with with the woman who I assume is like a local contact or...
Yeah.
Awesome name as well.
Yeah.
Like, unbelievable. Madame Lepont.
It's just a small, tiny thing that actually isn't the main premise of the pre-title sequence or any kind of story. You know, a bit like You Only Live Twice actually does have something to do with the story. This is just a little moment where of all the ones, including like From Russia with Love, where you kind of see Bond dying. I think this is the smallest one that.
Oh yeah.
Is the least significant.
If you said what's the Thunderball pre-title sequence, no one would remember. But then they'd all remember the jetpack.
Yeah,
Most of them would remember the fight in cross-dressing. So it's got a lot in it in a short space.
Loads in it.
It does.
It doesn't overstay its welcome either. It's just but I was just watching it without the sound, and so you become very aware of the editing. And man, it is just like back and forth. It doesn't. As soon as that scrap starts, it really moves, and I love that. You forget like almost how radical it looks.
Yeah.
It's almost like experimental editing. It's so jarring at times. It's just really, but you just go with it because your sort of brain fills in the gaps, but it just makes it so much more exciting and like that. And that fight, it's up there, I think, for me in terms of like another proper Bob Simmons, a proper scrap.
Using the furniture and the stuff around to. It's either weapons or crashing in. The gag of Bond punching a woman, square in who we think is a woman, square in the face. Austin Powers, of course.
Madame, I've come to offer my sincere condolences. My dear Colonel Bouvard, I don't think you should have opened that car door by yourself.
I think it's a great. I think now, obviously, you look at it and think, you can see it coming a mile off because just because you go from obviously the actress who plays the character to then, suddenly it's quite clear that it's now a man.
Yeah, they cover up more and more.
I think watching it then, it must have been fairly shocking to see him. And also that the music and everything, the way it's edited, it's like it's meant to be a real surprise.
Well,
am I right in saying that Jack Bouvier is a Spectre agent?
Yes, Blofeld mentions him. Shortly afterwards,
It does link. Yeah, it does link with the
quality.
Not the plot, but just.
And is it that he's killed 2 double O's? Is that right?
You have to kill 2, Harry, to be called a double O. Remember?
So is he now a Spectre agent? Who?
My only complaint is that the sets are great, but I totally forget that the widow actually leaves. In my head, it's all in one place.
All in the same place, It's a short drive away, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So I always think it's in that.
A short naked jog.
I think it's a great setting, but perhaps the palette of the setting is a little bit, it's not exotic, it's not bright and colourful, it's pretty grey, isn't it? If you know what I mean. Greys and browns and blacks and whites.
I agree. When I do think about it, it's like it's all very well, it's sort of in keeping. It's all like wood panel rooms.
It is all quite a bit different to Goldfinger. Obviously, what's gone before,
it is.
And you know, in particular, obviously the editing of the fight and everything is completely different to anything we saw in Goldfinger.
It's perfectly in sync with the editing of the actual camera work as well. So whenever you get like a quick shot, you get a really loud, brassy John Barry bit, just like a couple of notes here and there. So I do think, regardless of if it's my personal preference or not, it's all incredibly deliberate how it's been done, and it's all done together. And it's cohesive.
The music is
the music's great. Yeah,
you know, in particular again for the fight, again, very different to what from Goldfinger. The music in anything, anything like that, it's much more urgent and tense, I would say.
Well, the best example for a fight with Connery is from Russia with Love, and it's got this keeps that visceral kind of fight. It's a very, very intensive fight that you didn't see in Goldfinger. It's a different kind of fight. Where I think Terence Young has picked up influence from Guy Hamilton is the idea of throwing the flowers on him at the end.
Yeah.
That kind of cocky quip kind of thing. That is that influence, I think, coming through there.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah.
And that is so funny. And
exactly.
I like how it doesn't land as a perfect bunch, you know, just go everywhere, kind of all over the body. It's really funny.
Shit house, yeah. So unnecessary.
Yeah.
It's class.
The smoke that comes from the jetpack is like brown. It's quite depressing. Like browny green.
Stinking the place out.
Yeah. And then you get the Aston Martin as well.
Yeah.
The return of the Aston Martin.
With all the brown bits of pollen or whatever it is on there.
yeah.
So absolutely epic pre-title sequence with an Aston Martin featuring gunshots and everything. You know, that one that everyone talks about.
Yeah.
Thunderball.
Yeah.
Where he has a scrap with a woman.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, very good.
It's always good to see what they do next after a film. Seeing that they're doing this, you know, like after Goldfinger, it's so good. A new location, slightly different look, same James Bond. This is where he is now. What's the mission? Let's go. Kind of. It's great.